You asked what happened. It's an imprecise question, but I shall do my best to answer. Where does one begin to recount a story like this? In the beginning, there was the mother. She created all things, and the gods were her children. They each cared for their people, until in time they grew restless and began to war among themselves. It was in the clash between Macian the gambler and Barrica the warrior that the land of Vostane was destroyed. Deprived of his followers in a single heartbeat, the laughing god Valus was no more. So the king of Alinor, Anselm, offered such a great sacrifice, such an act of faith, that Barrica was empowered to bind Macian in sleep and prevent him from making war. After that, the gods stepped back from our world, except for Barrica, who left the door ajar to keep watch over her sleeping brother, changing her name from Barrica the warrior to Barrica the sentinel. And that's the end of the story, for 500 years at least. We pick up the thread again when Prince Leander of Alinor boarded a ship to make his family's traditional pilgrimage to the Isles of the Gods, to strengthen Barrica, so she could maintain her bindings on Macian. Aboard that ship was Selly Walker, daughter of the fleet, a girl with the sea in her veins. Also aboard, your humble correspondent. I am sometimes asked if I set out as the prince's companion. The answer is no. I was en route to the bibliothèque and unaware of the ship's change of course. In Mela, faith in their sleeping god had waned over 5 centuries, but was now rising. The Green Sisters had maintained a stubborn presence, and their second-in-command, Sister Beris, was ready to awaken her god. Her interests aligned with those of Laskia, who wished to prove to her older sister, Ruby, the leader of their gang, that she was ready for greater responsibility. Laskia intercepted and destroyed what she believed to be the prince's ship. In fact, she had found a decoy fleet, sent to distract such as her from the prince's mission. She was accompanied by Jude Kean, once a schoolmate of Leander and myself, now a member of a Port Noranda gang. Jude's role was to identify the prince's body, but amid the carnage, his task proved impossible. Laskia's people killed all those aboard the Progress fleet and left evidence to frame the Melasian government, hoping to prompt a war that would serve both Sister Beris's and Ruby's interests. They then came in pursuit of Selly's ship, which they had seen on the horizon and knew to be a witness. Despite Prince Leander's fearsome feats of magic, their pursuit was ultimately successful. They murdered every soul aboard, or believed they had. Selly, the prince, and I survived, rigged a lifeboat, and set sail for Port Noranda in Mela, the only land within reach. We intended on handing ourselves over to the Alinorish ambassador. Shortly after she met with us, however, she was assassinated. Our dinghy had been discovered, and Laskia was now aware of our presence. The assassination meant that war was inevitable, but we still hoped we could limit the damage to a conflict between humans rather than gods. Macian was dangerously close to awakening, and we knew we had to make the sacrifice that would strengthen Barrica at any cost. We purchased a fishing boat and laid in a course for the Isles of the Gods. Upon reaching the Isle of Barrica, we discovered that Laskia had sent thugs to destroy the temple. The sacrifice was now impossible. With Laskia close behind us, we pressed on to the Isle of the Mother in the hope of finding her temple intact. Legend has it that all gods are present in the temple of their mother, and we hoped to find Barrica's presence strong enough to receive a sacrifice. We arrived with only moments to spare, and discovered there was no way down to the altar. Knowing a great sacrifice was called for, Leander offered his life, leaping from above. In doing so, he unexpectedly empowered Barrica enough that she was able to save him from death, making him a messenger. As his new power threatened to overwhelm Leander, Selly bound herself to him as his anchor, sharing the load, and saving his life. Laskia attempted to emulate him, and also made the leap. With her god bound in sleep, he was slow to respond, and we set sail for Kirkpool and home, believing we had witnessed her death. We were wrong.